Hello everyone! Welcome to another Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. My name is Anna Mardal. I am so sorry about the fact that these videos are going up late. I have been sick. I've been battling a head cold that's been going around the office at work. And last night, while rescuing some kittens in my mom's yard, I gave myself heat stroke, so that was exciting. And I'm a little fuzzy-brained. I've actually recorded this opening 3 or 4 times because I kept tripping over my words. Will that affect the quality of this video? Who knows? But I felt like maybe a not perfect video was better than no video at all. And I may have to go suddenly if one of the cat shelters calls me back because it's actually been really hard to find someone who can take these kittens in, which that's kind of a rant for another time about the lack of government services for this sort of thing. But they're good babies. We'll find a home for them. So when we last left off, we were going into court to defend our client who has admitted to being a famous thief, but probably pretty clearly isn't. I'm a little, I said before that I'm happy that we're exploring false confessions, because those are a very common thing, actually. But I do feel a great deal of contempt for the police. I continue to feel a great deal of contempt for the police in Ace Attorney, because you would think false confessions for being a famous media darling art thief would be honestly lots and lots and lots of false confessions for that. So for them to just snap up the first one they get and run with it seems like a really bad idea. I remind you that every time a innocent person is convicted, not only is that a terrible subversion of justice in its own right, but it also means that the guilty person is free to continue breaking the law. So not ideal on many levels. But here we are going into court in October. Hey Nick, what is it? Is something wrong? No, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy. Oh, check out the mask to mask glossy I bought. You bought this. Where? From the little tents in front of the courthouse. They have all sorts of things for sale. You know I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. Oh good, we have evidence. Come on, I'm guilty. Throw the book at me. Who's screaming like that? Oh, Mr. Wright, you made it. Yeah, I did, but it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for you. Also, as your attorney, I really feel I should have asked you not to wear that particular outfit to court today. Because I did it. I'm the criminal. Me. He's at it again. I sent the calling card to Lord Lee Taylor. I admit it. But you don't have the sacred urn, right? Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean I didn't commit the crime. Normally, when I say, of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but with you, yikes. Anyway, I admit I'm guilty, so make sure they give me a guilty verdict, please. Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. I wonder if she's mask to mask. Is that possible? I mean, she doesn't have an alibi for the crime, and she likes daring do, and she likes death-defying stunts and stuff. Plus, they do have money coming in from somewhere that's unexplained, and it would explain why their house has all the mask-to-mask paraphernalia that otherwise doesn't make sense. That's not the picture I want. Is it possible that it's her? I don't see any, like, visible breasts on mask to mask, but that's what binders are for. That would be interesting if it is her. I would find that interesting. Dunno. Oh, Desi, honey. Bonjour. Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. What does the great text mean? Is it like him getting softer, or... Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you. Well, you see, actually, the thief is me. Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I can guarantee that my Ronnie is innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. So why are you smiling when you say it? If you'll excuse me, I've got some errands I need to take care of. You're not staying for your husband's trial? I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck. You'd think if she was mask to mask, though, she could just have a public appearance being obviously him while Ron is in custody. To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is mask to mask or not. But there's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. Mr. Delight, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I'll have to trust Desiree. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And it's him. What is he wearing? Is that like a futuristic, like, Geordie mask? Or is it... Does it help him see? What is that? I like everything else about his outfit. It's very goals. Personal goals. I like the vest, I like the armbands, I like the earrings, I like the white hair. I was gonna do his, like, boot to the head voice, you know, where he's like, cover up your head, everybody. But that doesn't really seem to fit him now that I actually see him in action. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to... What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine. Let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? No, I'm not. I will pass judgment after I hear arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That doesn't make any sense. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I am Godot, legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case. Dime a dozen at this point. He's the one that Detective Atmey was talking about! Your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? None. What? What did you say? I've never prosecuted a case before. Never? You said you've never lost before. Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either. And that was enough to make you legendary, was it? Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? So, I question that he'd be legendary, but I do appreciate that they are making him out to be genuinely new, as opposed to, oh yeah, he was totally around in the last couple of games, we just never heard of him. Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. Yes, but a mask in a court of law? Don't you know anything?
No matter the man, we all wear masks. Either on our faces or over our hearts.
This guy is the real deal, Nick.
Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So we finally meet. Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Nick, is he a friend of yours?
No, I don't have any friends that call me Wright. Who is this masked man? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you.
Well then, Prosecutor Gobo?
It's not Gobo. It's Godo, Your Honor. In any case, please give your opening statement. Opening statement. Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I feel like I should be doing this dialogue with like a, you know, one of those really long cigarette holder things that the one lady, what was her name? D something, that she just as a whole opening statement. Those are not even fit for dogs to consume, you know, like just. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Wright. What is it? Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two. I guess we'll find out, dude. Do you even lift, bro? Well then, let's hear from the first witness.
My name is...
No one has asked for your name, witness.
Mr. Edgeworth always does.
The important thing is what you know. That's all. Start talking. We're listening.
Yes, sir.
All right, witness. First, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole the urn.
Yes, sir. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago.
That does look like the publicity photo. Something looks... Okay, so Ron has the little epaulets on the shoulder, and he's got the fluffy ruffles down the front. But he doesn't have the little smiley face clasp at the neck. That seems like an important omission. And of course he's missing mask and hat. And I don't see how all his hair would fit under that either, but...
He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. This was his 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card to Lord Lee Taylor. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask. It fits his MO to a T.
So the actual identity of this masked mask is... Mr. Godot, what are you... Okay. Coffee shop atmosphere increasing. We're in the middle of a trial here, Mr. Godot. Blacker than a moonless night. Hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please. Proceed. Very well, it's only coffee after all.
You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial.
proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Well, Nick, what are you going to do?
As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Master Mask who stole the urn. Why would we do that? Nah, I don't care. If you want that, Nick, I'll go for it.
Have you been involved in the investigation from the beginning?
Yep, nobody knows more about the thief than me, pal. It's true. I'm a Zvari, author on thieves.
An author? He's written books about thieves?
I think he probably meant to say authority.
The fact that this guy can slip through even my fingers shows how good he is, pal.
It's easy when those fingers happen to be butterfingers.
So nobody knows more about this thief than you, huh?
You got it, pal. Except for maybe the thief's mom, that is.
Is there someone who knows even more about him than the police?
You don't mean Detective Zvari, do you?
Who is this person? Zvari? He sounds German.
His name is Luke Atmey, sir. I guess I shouldn't have made up such a silly name for him.
What the heck? I guess he's not all that famous after all.
Anyway, it's true that he did manage to retrieve the last item the thief stole.
Oh, I see. It seems you're not the expert you claim to be.
It looks like the thief is toying with me even now.
Have you seen all of these so-called calling cards?
Of course I have. Except the person in charge of the treasure exhibit never brought their card to the police, so I didn't see this one until after the crime occurred.
That's because Detective Atmey stopped Miss Anders from taking it to the police.
Was the calling card that the lordly tailor received authentic?
Well, all the cards have one common identifying feature, but we're not releasing that information to the general public, so maybe I shouldn't have said something about it in this public trial.
You're absolutely certain this card is real?
Gumshoe can't say it out loud, but he's talking about Master Mask's emblem. That's the thing on his chest.
This was his 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card to Lordly Taylor.
His 5th heist. And your 5th screw-up, huh?
Objection, pal! That ain't fair. Maybe you could say I screwed up 4 times. But this last time wasn't my fault. I didn't know about the calling card this time.
You, of all people, shouldn't be chuckling about this, Detective Gumshoe.
I just want everyone here in the courtroom to know something. If you ever get a calling card from this guy, don't call some stupid private eye. Call your local police right away. Got me?
Wow, it looks like he's really got it in for Detective Atmey. Good, I've got it in for him too. Art pieces. Like what, for example?
Well, his first target was the famous Tear of Emanon.
What's that? Some kind of especially salty teardrop?
No, sir. It's a blue diamond. A single rare diamond. Next was the crown of Bangora. You know, the thing you put on your head. After that was the left hand of Hades, and then the portrait of Megina, sir. Detective Atmey retrieved the portrait of Megina and returned it to the museum.
I feel like I should have been writing all those down.
And the target of his 5th and last robbery was the sacred urn?
But isn't it difficult for him to dispose of such famous art pieces?
Well, we assume he must have some underworld connections.
Somehow, Mr. Delight doesn't look the type. Yeah, he's a little too sunny to be hanging out in the underworld. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm sorry. And I'm back. Okay, we found a shelter for the kittens, so yay! Mom's running them up there now. Whew, that was stressful. Oh, I wanted to press on this. No, press. What do you mean when you say it fits his MO to a T?
I was thinking of asking the same thing myself.
Yeah, I wish you would listen a little more closely, pal. First of all, there's the calling card. We're 100% certain it's authentic. And then there's the fact that he seemed to know all about the security system. And finally, his target was an art piece. These are all part of the thief's modus operandi.
And so, since this robbery seems to fit all those conditions...
That's right. It means Master Mask is behind it.
Nick, it definitely looks like it was Master Mask who stole the urn. But there's no real evidence either way as to whether Ron is Master Mask. The urn hasn't turned up yet, let alone in connection to Mr. Delight. So even though we know it was Master Mask who did it, maybe for the time being I should try to show it wasn't Master Mask. I don't really understand that line of reasoning, but they seem really certain. I'm assuming this is where... So the only things I can think is that the urn has no monetary value, or... Wait, okay, so we've got 3 photos. We've got this, we've got this, which he showed that in his testimony, so that seems like it's important. If this is important, then maybe it's a game of like what's different. Oh, you're not wearing the brooch either, are you? Although that's probably bad for our client. So let's start with that. This might be totally wrong. Your Honor! That statement contradicts this evidence! It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Objection denied. Okay, it was totally wrong. Fine. So the other thing I could think of was... Wait, to back up. There we go. Precious art pieces. So this one's worthless. If this doesn't work, then I don't know what we're supposed to do. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in that question is making me nervous. You said he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right?
That's right, pal.
But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. Did he get new objection music? I kind of want to dance to it. This supposedly priceless urn doesn't rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean? Nick, how can you say such a terrible thing? I meant from a financial point of view. It wouldn't fetch a good price.
Well, Prosecutor Godot, what is the value of that urn?
The appraisers I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense. So in other words, it was not the kind of item that Master Mask would normally go after. Ugh.
If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying the theft of the sacred urn was not the work of Master Mask.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. All I did was point out a contradiction. The argument made itself, really.
Well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was this last robbery the work of Master Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? This coffee here. It's my own special blend. I call it Godot 107. I'm trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. And that's the only thing I've got on my mind right now. Mr. Wright. What? If you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess. Sorry? But I don't get what you mean. If you're saying it wasn't Master Mask that stole the urn, it must be someone imitating Master Mask's methods. A fake. A fake Master Mask?
Fake Master Mask? That sounds so ridiculous, but I like it.
Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Wright. Proof that the person who appeared at Lordly Taylor that night was actually a fake. don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior. His point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. Well, I tried to show it earlier, but you guys didn't want to see it. It looks like I'm going to have to prove it. I need proof that the person at Worthy Taylor that night was in fact fake Damask. Does this work now?
The proof is right here.
This looks like a photo taken by a security camera.
If you look closely, you'll notice something peculiar about it.
Huh. Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on, use this pointer and show us just what about this picture is so peculiar. I hope I did that right.
It's right here, of course.
You mean Master Mask?
I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to look at. Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning?
Yeah, but Gumshoe just used it too.
The problem I have with the security camera photo is the brooch on Damask's chest.
A breach? Here? Bailiff, get my steed. We need to retreat at once.
A brooch, Your Honor. It's a sort of clasp for holding one's cape on.
A clasp, eh? Oh, I see now.
But the masked mask in his security camera photo. Ah! He has no brooch! That brooch is the same as the emblem on Damask's calling card and serves as a symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this masked mask is a fake. I've been fooled again!
Order! It's true! Undeniably true! Detective Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked this?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I...
Hey now. If you're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame in this too. How could you have overlooked such a large brooch? Huh. The brooch you're talking about? Do you mean this?
That's Master Mask's brooch.
Where did you find it?
Wait, but that doesn't...
Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. Hang on.
Okay, I'm back again, and that should be the last interruption. The shelter kittens, or the stray kittens, the feral kittens are officially sheltered, and the shelter lady cooed all over them, and they will be put in a nice foster home. So, phew, that was fun. There was an orange kitten, a gray kitten, and a dark gray kitten. So, but man, every shelter in this area is full up for kittens. So let me just say, if you have ever wanted a kitten, go get those kittens. I guess they need houses or fosters or something. We're full. I've got 4. That's as many as I'm allowed to have. Like there's a law on everything.
Well, I've always had a nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadow of a big female Buddha statue. Does he mean the Atmey statue? I guess... Buddha statue? He must mean the Atmey Faye statue.
What? Why didn't you tell me about that, sir?
I always put evidence away in my pocket. it. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence.
Why are we putting up with this rookie prosecutor's antics? I'm confused. This guy is one cool customer. I mean, if by cool we mean very weird.
It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there, too.
I'm sorry?
Hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Rondelight's fingerprints.
What?
What? The defendant's fingerprints are on the brooch? Order in the court! Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch! That can't be. I've grown attached to my metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her.
This guy is weird.
It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back. Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene. Phoenix, we have a problem. You mess with Godot, and you get burned. He's been playing me like a violin. Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness.
Huh? You're done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet.
You've proven your own incompetence. That's good enough.
That doesn't sound good at all.
Bailiff, bring the next witness into the courtroom. Finally time for the East Detective to make his appearance, huh? One second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry it up.
Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear.
What's clear?
Zvari. The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. A coffee maniac at that. Am I correct?
Well, yes, that's right. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil.
Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself.
My name is Luke Atmey, ace detective and rising star illuminating the heavens. These two make a perfect pair. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's heads off. I've heard that on the night of the crime, you were alone on security detail.
You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe was worth anything, that is.
Why was this guy all by himself anyway? There must be some reason, I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed.
It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Masked and Masked, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police.
So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal?
My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, That is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. That's only natural.
I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance this evening.
Thank you. Well, Sir Old-Timer, let me explain. We are not speaking of any ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, the great Master Mask, my arch enemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me.
Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
That would be 1 o'clock on the morning of the 12th, correct?
That's an impressive deduction, Mr. Lawyer.
No, it's not! You were on security duty that night. Where exactly were you at the time?
A penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse, near the computer. Near the computer.
You weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it?
Up to this point, I have tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief.
Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday, too. Gumshoe also said they've never spotted the thief at crime scenes before.
Precisely. That is precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that by not concealing myself, I would be putting pressure on the thief.
I'm really confused by that. Looks like the thief was the one applying pressure on your pigeony head, that is.
In any case, that's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, dancingly descended upon me.
From where?
Well, from the entrance, I suppose. Where else?
In actuality, he neither danced nor descended. Someone please save me. How is it you didn't notice the thief?
My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow, while my ears listened for footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak up on me. It can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft-soled shoes.
I hereby dub you Ace Dunce. You didn't see the criminal's face?
That's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That's all I can recall.
That's not very solid as far as testimony goes.
However, fortunately I had my third monocle, the security camera at the ready.
Third monocle?
It captured his image perfectly.
Well, as long as the photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Mr. Godot, do you have a problem with the photo? Good, then let's continue with testimony.
Attacked and knocked unconscious? You weren't able to do a thing? That's some impressive detective work.
Well, Sir Lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head?
Well, actually, yes. By a fire extinguisher.
And what happened?
I was knocked out. And you lost your memory, too.
You see, you have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory was because I have more brains to begin with.
He may have brains, but the wiring to the self-reflection part seems to be severed.
That was how I was knocked senseless.
Okay, so if you couldn't land a strike, why was the button torn?
Mr. Atmey,
could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours?
Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch-nemesis, Master Mask. It is, in point of fact, Master Mask's brooch.
It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened.
Ah, elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough.
Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing.
Ripped off?
Oh! We can only deduce the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. There's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. You, Detective Atmey. Why did you lie about that, bro? Detective Atmey, you must have fought with the thief that night. Why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No. Wait just a moment, sir, old-timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. The true measure of a man is in the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. You've never prosecuted a case before.
Nick, you can only handle one case at a time, is that right? Yeah, but we actually handle them as opposed to this guy.
You talk too much. Witness, are you now saying you and the thief fought? Hold on. That's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me? Excuse me? Yeah! Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules.
You're a rookie. You don't get to have rules. Why are people treating this as... as legitimate or valid in the slightest?
Indeed, I understand. I, Luke Atmey, agree completely.
No! Oh.
It's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, Luke Atmey cannot be so easily discombobulated. I mean, clearly he can. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true, bam! And that's all she wrote. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Master Mask? Correct.
But I don't understand why he would lie about that. It seems like catching a glimpse of him is a better story than never seeing him at all.
It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind.
What?
It seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak.
Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes with which case. That can't be good. Why did you look away from the door?
In addition to the camera, I had prepared a variety of other sensors as well. The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's why I went to the computer. Elegantly, of course. You were momentarily vulnerable while you were working on the computer? What should I do? Should I ask more questions? What kind of sensors are you talking about? There are other places in the basement that someone could enter and exit from. There are air conditioner ducts, sewer pipes, and a cat door as well. I hooked up heat detecting, infrared, and ultraviolet sensors to each of them. That's a lot of hardware. Was it all yours? Lordly Taylor Department Store was kind enough to provide monitoring hardware. Naturally, the security camera that took the photo belongs to them as well. In other words, he couldn't have rigged the equipment. Has that cleared up any doubts you had about me, Sir Lawyer? Did that computer belong to Lordly Taylor as well? Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. That was specially designed by me, Luke Atmey. In that case, he could have easily manipulated the data. What's wrong, Sir Lawyer? What does that mean, discombobulated?
Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. I'm sorry, but what does it mean? Now I've forgotten. What was I saying?
Jeez, it's better than old people who forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago.
Well, it looks like we've cleared that up. You can go on with your testimony.
What do you mean by weapon from the side? Naturally, the thief had no idea that I, Luke Atmey, was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse. You mean the sword that was all twisted like a tree branch? Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. Okay, so he is talking about the Shishito.
So the thief armed himself with a sword. And what about yourself, witness?
You had that much faith in your own fighting abilities? But of course, in college I was the second in charge of the boxing club.
I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive.
However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch-nemesis, Mask de Mask.
This guy is a real piece of work.
Can you tell us more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powericious. Powericious. I assumed the Atmey fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That was, of course, checkmate. My opponent bested me. What do I do now? What is the Atmey fighting style? I'm sorry, but that's a trade secret I really can't say anymore. but I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you.
That's it. That's the Atmey fighting style. That was important.
Of course it's important. We've learned a detective's secret technique after all.
Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night.
Why is he eyeballing me? It's creeping me out.
Now then, witness, we'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony.
About that. You told me you were struck from behind.
Detective Atmey, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun is this? What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch-nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here.
From behind, huh?
Just now, you testified he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head.
It seems I've made another mistake.
Detective Atmey, that's not the only strange part of your testimony.
What do you mean by that?
For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong.
Objection!
Gosh, Godot has a deep voice. To err is human, to forgive divine. Humans aren't machines. They have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes.
Hey, hold on. It's not as pretty as that. This is... his coffee flicks up. This is so many layers of just... I just... Really? What is it like then? Always chase a riddle down to the end. And that's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around.
Mr. Wright, what exactly is it you're asserting?
Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that...
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him being mask to mask. He probably isn't, because it's a little too early in the, but still, I think it's plausible.
The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atmey's true identity is actually mask to mask.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atmey's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scene, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. That's because I analyzed the crime scene data
and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a...
Oh, please. The explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atmey. The truth is that you are, in fact, Master Mask.
But Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows Master Mask. This security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor department store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it.
He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security, then simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn.
The ace detective is actually an ace thief? Is this true, witness? Damask Simo is pure genius. So am I. Luke Atmey, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, Sir Lawyer. What? Witness, you're admitting it?
Nick, now's your chance! Yes, time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atmey, when you assumed the thief's identity.
Godot Blend 102. My personal favorite.
He threw it at us!
Mr. Godot! The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I...
Oh my god. Please tell me that's a gif. That there's just like a Phoenix Wright coffee gif. Coffee face gif. Let's look. There he is. I'm so happy. I don't think it's the remake. It's not as smooth and pretty looking, but there is. I'm just Phoenix Wright, covered in coffee, eyes blinking, coffee dripping. It's wonderful. It's art. It's all I've ever wanted out of life. I can die happy now. His mouth, his eyes, the just sheer shock.
I will admit, my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of whole cloth. But it is in fact nothing more than a patchwork quilt, Mr. Trite. If this detective really is a thief, then show us proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have, quickly.
Huh? Oh, yes, of course. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Atmey looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. But can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves Mr. Luke Atmey is in fact Master Mask.
I don't think we have anything decisive.
He did have a bowling ball bag that had something heavy and smooth and round in it, but... I don't think we have any.
Proof? Of course I've got nothing.
Huh. Just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high, no matter how bad things get, after all. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. This is no good. I've got to stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove this guy is the thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. It's no good. I'm just not ready. Are you going to just give up and let us lose this? So you've come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer?
I can't think of a counterattack at all. Is there something I missed? I don't think I did.
It seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness has lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have anything further to add. Who?
Hi?
Who are you?
That doesn't really matter right now, does it?
Miss Delight, what are you doing here?
Nicky boy! The thing you've been looking for. I think I found it.
You mean that bag?
No, not the bag. What's in the bag? Well?
That's...
the sacred urn! Nick, it's the urn!
Somebody fixed it. Order! You, madame, that urn, where did you find it?
You'll never believe it. It was in the office of that Mr. Fancy Pants Ace Detective, Luke Atmey.
Oh, Desi, you're the best!
That was the bag we tried to open yesterday. Pink splotches of paint.
How do you explain that one, Mr. Atmey? Even you are going to have a hard time weaseling out of this one. Pathetic. Mr. Godot, do you have something you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the olden days, a man was to be taken at his word. It's truly sad. You're still denying that Mr. Atmey was involved? Before casting aspersions at Detective Atmey, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree. Desiree Delight, is that correct?
Yeah, what about it?
How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring.
What are you insinuating?
She doesn't like that. As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered that stolen urn anywhere. Including the office of the good detective here. So you found the urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it.
What? I just brought it here from the detective's office.
Please, madame. This town is already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound the tragedy we have been witness to.
You're wrong! I would never do such a thing!
Miss Delight.
Please, Nicky boy, you've got to help me talk some sense into these people! There must be some way. I've got to prove that urn was actually in the Atmey Detective Agency.
It was. We saw it. And apparently our word isn't good enough. Actually, maybe we can. It just seems like if testifying was enough, then... Because Atmey touched it? I'm gonna try testifying for this one. What's wrong? Isn't it your job to come up with something to say?
Nick, come on, it should be easy to prove. We checked out that bag, didn't we?
You're right. I remember doing that. Whatever was in there, it was hard and round and smooth.
It must have been the urn. It must have been.
But I never actually saw it with my own eyes. Atmey walked in just when I was about to have a look at it. So even if it was the urn in there, I can't testify that it was.
Ah, you're right.
It looks like I was wrong about you, Mr. Wright. In this town overflowing with lies, there's still a single flickering candle of truth.
Nicky boy!
It's true, I never actually saw the urn, but maybe I can testify about it from another angle. What about it, Mr. Wright? Have you given up? There must be some way. I've got to prove the urn was actually in the Atmey Detective Agency. Well, maybe it has Atmey's fingerprints on it? I can prove where the urn was by the fingerprints on it. Fingerprints, eh? Oh, come now. Now you're really making me laugh, Sir Lawyer. Fingerprints indeed. May I go on? Good. Now, it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. And after all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I am always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see. So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything. What about it, Mr. Wright? This witness's fingerprints would mean nothing anyway. I mean, apparently you've decided to take his word for it.
Nick, what are you going to do now?
I've come too far to turn back now. Atmey must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure, someone must have left their fingerprints on it. The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. Someone. I touched it. Me. Me.
Take that!
So what is this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Mr. Atmey, do you recall the events of yesterday?
Hey, Nick. Come on, open it up. Hey, wait a minute. We can't just open private property. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? Hang on, I'm taking it out now. Whatever it is, it feels hard and smooth.
Well, hello there. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at that time, but I did touch what was inside. What? You touched it? And I remember it well. It was smooth and hard. Well, that was just... Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Atmey's office.
Objection!
Not this time, buddy.
Even if your fingerprints are on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it?
Of course it does.
What did you say?
It's not what I say, but what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, said.
I polished it until it was just about glowing. I thought maybe I could make it a little more valuable.
I'm glad he remembered that, because I forgot.
If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday at the Atmey Detective Agency. Ha! This blend, Godot Blend 107. I've decided it's a little too bitter after all.
Why is his mask flickering?
Order! Order! I accept the defense's request. Bailiff, take this urn and...
Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that.
No need, you say?
Precisely. And I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn.
What are you saying?
Yes! I've finally broken him down! Take a good look, everyone.
He's scaring me with his face.
Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
This guy is nuttier than a fruitcake.
You see, it was me all along. I am the one and only Master Mask.
Does that mean we can go?
I hope you all enjoyed my little performance.
Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Atmey's condition? He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Well, it looks like the matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Really?
We really are done? We can leave? That's cool and also surprising. Does this case really only have 3 parts? That just seemed really easy. Now I think maybe it was Desiree after all. Besmirching him with the title of thief. Nick, you were right after all! Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't the thief. Why does he look so sad? The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight. You're wrong! Wrong, I tell you! I mean, not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right is what I was really trying to say. Oh no, this can't be happening. The thief, this sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing all the treasures, it's me. I'm him. I'm the one you want. I'm the thief, I tell you. So do it. Pronounce me guilty. Please. I don't know what kind of kangaroo court you all think this is, but...
Objection!
The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass judgment. What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you.
Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee. Hi there, Mr. Thief.
Yes, sir?
If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any idea what you mean.
That's okay, honey. Nobody else does either. If you are a master mask, prove it. And that's what it means.
Oh God, I actually agree with him. Yes, sir. I'll be happy to. He says he'll be happy to, Nick. It's kinda cute. He's 100% committed to his fantasy.
Oh, honey, it's not cute at all. Good boy. But just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man.
I don't think that's actually true. I know that. I won't fail. I swear.
Okay then. Talk. We're all listening.
Oh, well, let's all have a listen to this confession. Oh no. Do I have to cross-examine him? The truth is, I've been mask to mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm actually not mask to mask, can you? I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen after all. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo. That's me. As for my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle and it got torn off, that's all.
I don't like the direction this trial has taken. This is how every trial goes, at least with me anyway. You're doing great.
Stop it, Mr. Godot. You're embarrassing me.
Like I said, you're only going to get one chance to testify, all right? But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Master Mask.
Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best.
All right, Mr. Wright, I'm afraid it's time for cross-examination. Okay. Several things aren't right. He has an alibi. You may think you're the real Master Mask, but your wife thinks you're delusional.
I haven't told Desi yet. About my true identity, I mean. Believe me, I've got my reasons.
With the way your room is decked out, how could she not know about it? Even thieves have complicated family situations, I suppose. Let's leave that. There's no point in digging through any more of their dirty laundry. Actually, is there? Maybe there is. If she's Master Mask. Why are you withholding the truth from your wife?
First of all, I don't think she'd believe me anyway. And second, if there's one thing Desi absolutely detests, it's criminals.
If that's the case, why did you ever start thieving to begin with?
Desi is crazy about shopping. She's a real shopaholic. She's the love of my life, Your Honor. I guess you could say I'm a Desi-aholic.
You do have a complicated family situation after all. Alright, that's enough. Please continue with your testimony, I beg of you.
I thought you were going to be the one to show us proof. You know that you're the real Master Mask and not just some kind of obsessed fanboy?
Hey, now that's not fair. Why do I have to do all the hard work? Maybe because you're the one making the outrageous claim.
Come on, Nick. You know Mr. Delight couldn't have committed the crime. You're the one with the fancy law degree. Put it to work already. I need some kind of proof that Ron couldn't be Master Mask. Well, I guess if you had that kind of proof, we wouldn't still be here, were we? I should try to show Mr. Delight couldn't have stolen the urn.
I don't have an alibi for the night.
That is not true. We found that you were elsewhere.
You've got no alibi.
I've been a judge for a long time, and this is the first time I've ever heard a defendant brag about having no alibi.
I tell you, I wasn't Lordly Taylor that night. No. That's too vague, even for me. To be more precise, I was down in the basement warehouse.
Hold on. What is it, Nick? Where was Ron Delight when the crime happened anyway? If we can prove he had an alibi after all, this case will be a piece of cake.
Well, you're right, but...
You think we can prove that? Wake up and smell the coffee.
Well, I think maybe I can.
Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence that shows the defendant has an alibi?
I have the evidence. Or do you think I'm still some sort of third-rate rookie?
Oh, I've never seen you this angry before. I'm not surprised. Anger is the last refuge of the pathetic. Thought I was more confident than angry. Well then, let's see this evidence already. Show this court evidence that proves where your client was on the night of the crime. So, I think the wallet is what we want, because it was found at 1 a.m., which is too far away.
Mr. Delight, this wallet belongs to you, correct?
Ah, yes, it does. I thought I'd lost it somewhere.
Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away.
No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence.
Evidence?
Mr. Delight, when did you first notice you lost your wallet?
Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner.
This wallet was found at approximately 1 a.m. at KB Security Headquarters.
Surely you're not serious.
I am serious. This proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB Security that night.
Oh!
If the defendant was at KB Security at 1 in the morning, then that proves he has a watertight alibi.
No!
Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car. According to Larry, anyway.
Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? Stop drinking that coffee! Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong.
You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. All right, I'll try. I'll do it. I will. He's really got Mr. Delight all worked up. Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at KB's security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was there and not at the heist. Planted it there. He's really reaching now.
Mr. Delight. You probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? The key card to KB Security's CEO's office.
No!
That was a pretty good try, Mr. Trite. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing.
What?
Motive, of course. Why would this thief go to KB Security in the middle of the night anyway? Well, Mr. Wright, it looks like you need some more evidence after all.
This stupid kid.
Now then, let's see your evidence. The evidence that shows why Mr. Delight went to KB Security. I'm trying to remember. He's being blackmailed, right? I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead.
What does that mean?
Does that mean Desiree? Is she a red diamond? She wears a red jacket. I don't understand.
Take that!
Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct? That's... Red diamond. What is it? A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail? Yes. Basically it says, bring $50,000. That certainly sounds like blackmail, all right. At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself. In KB Security's CEO office, a full half an hour away from the scene of the crime. He's steaming again! His anger animation is to chug hot coffee! Order! So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security? It looks like the perfect case for the defense.
Objection!
You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Let's just say that my Gumshoe Blend 107 impresses me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company. Did you actually investigate this CEO at all? Huh? Well, no. I'm a defense attorney. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof. I'm not sure what I think of that. Not sure what I think of that? At least I know what I think of you. Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim the defendant entered the CEO's office. But you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright. Nick, I think we're going to have to track down the CEO guy. No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? There is someone else who can testify. This is the person who can testify the keycard was used at 1 a.m. that night. Oh, That's the first time one of your jokes actually made me truly laugh. I haven't made any jokes. Perhaps you find it funny, but I fail to see humor in it. I hit the wrong button. The E and the R are right next to each other, okay. There we go. Who is this useless-looking young man? You don't remember him, Your Honor? Not exactly. Just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat. I mean, you're not wrong. It looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. He probably blocked that memory out on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night. Oh. The question at hand is this key card. That's the key card they use in the building I work. recording the serial number. This one is for the CEO office. You need it to get into that room, and every time you use the card, it leaves a record. It tells you exactly who entered the room and when. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing the keycard's data.
Why would he drink it just to spit it out?
Well, Mr. Godot, the name of the CEO of KB Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data. Here. What does it show? Each card has its own serial number, and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, this card was used at 1 a.m. on the morning of the crime.
So we can go home now?
What that means, it can't be Mr. Delight dressed as Master Mask in this photo. It looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe. So then... Ron Delight was clearly in the office of KB's Security's CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit to that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be Master Mask.
Great job! You did it, Nick! So, yay!
That's enough! I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man a second time! Besmirching him with the title of thief.
What's wrong, Your Honor?
I'm ready to pass judgment, but before I do that, do you have any further objections?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight.
Yay. Well, I guess that ends the case. Except there's a whole lot of unanswered questions, so maybe not. It's weird.
Court is now adjourned.
I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions. Nick! You did it! You were right after all! Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delight! I knew you could do it! I believed in you all along, Nicky boy! I don't know how I can ever repay you. Shucks. Thanks, Miss Delight. I know I'm blushing. Congratulations, Mr. Nick! Pearls! I've got a bad feeling about this. Who is this woman? Oh, she's nobody. She's just... You're blushing! How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya? You should be ashamed of yourself. Ouch. She slapped me. Pearly. This woman is Ms. Desiree Delight. She's our client's wife. Oh, Mr. Nick! Yes? You're even worse than I thought. Going behind the back of your own client. No, you've got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you!
Oh, a double slap.
Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right? We've got the sacred urn back and the thief has been caught. You're so right, and it's all thanks to Nicky Boy here. But actually, it was you, Miss Delight, that brought us the urn back. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, please, you're embarrassing me.
If we won the case, why does this guy still look so glum?
But I am the thief. Actually, what's the point now? What is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. I know, and I appreciate it, Desi.
Actually... This isn't addressed to Ron. It's gotta be her. There's no way she'd be getting this much screen time if it's not her. Plus, she's a woman in a Phoenix Wright game. That means she must be guilty.
But the thing is...
Come on, give the kid some time. He's just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo?
Mr. Godot, what are you doing here?
No, come on. I just came to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite.
Oh, sure, yeah. We're in an open relationship with Miles, right? So, and you're hot and eccentric, so why wouldn't it work perfectly?
Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy. Well, playtime is over.
Huh?
Early this morning, the body of Kane Bullard was discovered.
Kane Bullard? Where have I heard that name before?
That's the CEO.
Isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security? Wait, body?
The estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th. Shit. They're gonna indict Ron. Yay.
1 a.m. on October 12th? You don't mean...
That's right, amigo. At the same time that a cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered. So then, what are you doing here? Oh, come on. You figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about the piece of info I helped you out with today?
Helped me out with?
On October 12th at 1 in the morning, Ron Delight was in the CEO's office, the scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbrued with utter rage.
What are you saying? Imbrued with rage?
Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard.
An employee of KB Security?
It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is going to be the noose that gets him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi.
No way.
He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred.
No, that's a lie. It can't be true.
Oh, but I am a thief, I tell you. Ron Delight, you're going back to prison again. This time the charge is much more serious. This time you'll be tried for murder.
What? This can't. This is impossible.
I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trent. You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from a challenge. You've never been a coward.
Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two?
Yes, Pearl. There is. I'm sorry. I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here.
This guy, who the heck is he?
I have no idea who he is.
He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced.
Well then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delight.
Nick, how could this be happening? Right in front of our very eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me. Ronnie! Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What the heck's going to happen next?
Okay, but seriously, I think the wife went to KB security with his card. And did something there. I don't know. She's got to be the killer. There's... I don't know. We'll figure something out. I mean, who else can it be, really? We've got... Let me think. The only people in the case so far is Ron, who insists it was him taking the urn, which it could have been. His alibi is just that someone used his key card, which could be anybody, could be his wife. Luke Atmey, which I don't know what's going on there. There's Larry and Adrian, but they're not guilty. And Desiree. And we know she hates criminals, but that doesn't mean she's not one herself. I don't know. She's a thrill seeker. And that seems to fit with the person. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we will figure it out. So once again, that was Phoenix Wright. I am sorry that these are going up kind of slowly, and I am sorry that I was reading kind of slowly today. I'm kind of, in order to get the inflections right, I'm having, while I'm dealing with this head cold and fuzzy headedness, I'm kind of having to like read it quietly to myself before I can do but I know that makes the videos longer. I'm sorry. I will see you in the next video, and thanks for coming along. Bye bye.